A shopping app built around helping people find the best deal may have faced its biggest problem, not in artificial intelligence, fashion, or even competition. It was a tiny piece of code hidden inside a browser extension. According to a recent Bloomberg investigation, Phia, the AI shopping startup founded by Phoebe Gates, the youngest daughter of Bill Gates, and climate activist Phia, allegedly used their extension to quietly override other publishers' affiliate links and claim commissions it didn't earn. In plain English, here's what that means. Imagine you click a link to Mango, Zara, or another retailer from a blogger's review, a magazine article, or another publisher's website. Behind the scenes, that link contains a tracking code. So if you buy something, the publisher that sent you there earns a commission. But according to a Bloomberg investigation, Phia's browser extension appeared to quietly open a hidden tab during checkout and replace that tracking code with its own. That meant Phia could claim the commission instead of the publisher that actually brought in the customer. They tested the extension across more than 50 retail websites and found the same pattern repeatedly. The startup had reportedly raised over $40 million with support from a high-profile group of investors/celebrities. Over 1 million users. Yet, the alleged behavior resembles one of the oldest and most controversial plays in online advertising. A little spoiler, it's not the first major scandal the company have been involved in. And that's what makes the story bigger than one startup. Because the question isn't just whether Phia crossed a line. The real question is, how could a company surrounded by money, famous names, AI hype, lawyers, advisors, and serious investors still miss a risk that people in affiliate marketing have been arguing about for decades? Hi, I'm Mariana, and let's talk what exactly is going on. Phia entered the market with a very, very modern promise. Shopping should feel less like browsing 100 tabs and more like having a free smart friend by your side who makes everything easier and faster. The app and browser tools were designed to help users compare prices, find resale alternatives, discover lower cost options, and identify products across the web. Great idea. The pitch sat at the intersection of several powerful trends: AI assistance, fashion commerce, deal hunting, resale culture, and the idea that younger consumers want to buy more intentionally. Phoebe Gates brought an unusually visible public profile. Phia was already known for her climate activism and for building a public identity around sustainability. Together, they represented a type of startup story that investors increasingly love. Young female founders, cultural relevance, technology, and a strong understanding of how modern consumers think and shop. I wouldn't say the idea itself was completely new or unique, but the combination mattered. Most modern venture capital does not invest only in spreadsheets, and a startup that can attract users, media attention, retailers, creators, and celebrity investors at the same time has something extremely, extremely valuable: a powerful distribution engine. But distribution is obviously not a business model. Sooner or later, every shopping recommendation company has to answer a boring but crucial question. When a user clicks buy, who actually profits? Bloomberg reported that Phia's browser extension allegedly overrode affiliate links belonging to other publishers and replaced them with links tied to Phia. That allegation is important to phrase carefully. The reporting describes the alleged behavior. It does not automatically mean a court has found Phia liable for fraud, theft, or any other legal violation. Those are separate questions. The facts, contracts, technical settings, applicable laws all matter, of course, but commercially, the allegation is easy to understand. Imagine this. For example, a fashion publisher spends money on writers, photographers, search optimization, product testing, and blah, blah, blah. A reader finds an article through Google, clicks a carefully placed product link, and goes to a retailer. At that point, the publisher expects to earn a commission if the customer buys. And now imagine a browser extension wakes up in the background, changes the tracking information, and says effectively, actually, I refer this shopper. The buyer may see no difference. The retailer may still make the sale, but the original publisher may lose the commission. It's like walking a customer into a store, explaining the product, helping them decide, and then having someone rush in at the cash register to collect the salesperson bonus. That's why publishers, other digital creators and services react so strongly to these kind of claims, because the commission is not a side price. For many of them, it's part of the business model that pays for the content in the first place. So in this way, they are the ones with the most to lose in this system. Some experts I found on the internet even believe that the shopping plugin was built to let Phia collect commissions on users' purchases from affiliate merchants, even when users did not click on Phia's affiliate links. And they said this was likely intentional, not an accident, because the feature had a setting that allowed it to be turned on or off. And this feature could have brought major financial benefits to the company by allowing Phia to take credits for up to 10 times more purchases than it actually influenced. Some experts also suggest that the way feature operated in the background may indicate that the company was aware the practice could raise concerns if discovered. But all of these accusations are allegations, remember, at least for now. And at the end of this part, in addition, I must add, after Bloomberg contacted the company, Phia did move to fix the issue. A spokesperson said that the necessary changes had been made, and the outlet later confirmed that the extension had stopped auto-claiming clicks it hadn't earned. As a result of the controversial public investigation, Impact.com suspended Phia's account. Impact.com is one of the major platforms that helps retailers, publishers, creators, and technology partners manage affiliate relationships and track commissions. So this is not just a warning or a small penalty, because is the infrastructure that allows the startup to make money in the first place, lose access to it, even temporarily, and the entire business model starts to break down. Certainly, a platform suspension is not the same as a criminal conviction, and it shouldn't be treated as one. But it still carries weight, because in business, reputation, of course, is often just as valuable as revenue. Affiliate networks are built on trust. Retailers need to be confident that their commissions are going to the right partners, so they can continue working with them and maintain long-term business relationships. Publishers need to know that their referrals are not being silently taken away. And when some part of the system fails to enforce its own rules, the entire marketplace risks turning into a chaotic fight over browser cookies, where no one ultimately wins. So a suspension signals that the issue was serious enough to trigger action within that ecosystem. And it also exposes a strange gap in how many people think about AI startups. Obviously, they don't picture affiliate attribution rules or anything like that. Yet, the boring infrastructure is often where the business lives or dies. A stunning interface can attract users. A clever model can make recommendations. But if the revenue engine depends on disputed attribution, then the most important part of the company may not be the AI at all. It may be the tracking link. Of course, AI matters because it changes the packaging. Artificial intelligence can make all business models sound very new. And sometimes that's real innovation. But sometimes the shiny language distracts from a very ordinary question, like where does the money come from? Honestly, I think that question should be asked of every free shopping tool. Usually, if the app is not charging users, it may be earning through retailer commissions, advertising, data partnerships, sponsor placement, subscriptions, or some combination of this. None of these models is inherently bad. The issue is whether the incentives are clear and whether the tool's actions match what users, retailers, publishers, and partners reasonably believe is happening. This whole situation reveals a big issue in the market. Calling something an AI shopping assistant creates a certain perception. The technology sounds advanced, which can shift attention toward the AI model and away from the basic mechanics underneath, like how affiliate links actually work. Phia is not the first shopping tool built around affiliate revenue to face this kind of controversy. Browser extensions offering deals and cashback have a long history of questionable practices behind simple user interfaces. What makes this case different is the size of funding, the celebrity investors involved, and the attention that came with them. Yes, the extension was reportedly fixed, but the Impact.com suspension remains as of the day I'm filming this. As I already mentioned, none of this automatically proves wrongdoing or criminal behavior. Celebrity investors are also common in consumer startups, and visibility can be a major advantage. However, the alleged issue here was, in fact, not some complex AI failure. And for venture investors, that's the part that feels quite uncomfortable, especially taking into account that affiliate commissions are not a side feature for a company like Phia. They are the business model. If the foundation of the model depends on taking credit for traffic generated by others, then the problem is not a small product flaw. It goes to the heart of the company itself. And I must say, quite often, when a startup has momentum, famous founders, cultural visibility, and a fast-growing category, investors may fear missing the opportunity more than they fear technical or operational risks. That's not necessarily recklessness. It's just the math of venture capital. Firms are just looking for rare companies that can become enormous. But this logic can create a dangerous shortcut. If a startup looks like it has social proof, people may assume someone else already did the hard checking. The famous investor assumes the lead investor did it. The lead investor assumes counsel reviewed it. Counsel may review what it was asked to review. Product team assume growth has approval. Growth teams assume the technical implementation is standard. You see the logic. And suddenly everyone owns a tiny slice of responsibility, which can mean nobody owns the whole problem. The affiliate link allegations were not the first serious questions raised about Phia's browser extension. In November 2025, Fortune reported another controversy. Back then, cybersecurity researchers found that an early version of Phia's extension allegedly sent snapshots of users' browser activity back to the company's servers, even when those pages had nothing to do with shopping, including sites containing highly sensitive information such as bank statements, private emails, and other personal data. A shopping assistant needs to understand something about product page if it's going to compare prices or find alternatives. That's the deal users believe they are making. But researchers told Fortune that the extension appeared to go much further, and their concerns were not theoretical. For example, one expert tested the extension while accessing a Revolut digital banking account and found that activity was logged as well. Fortune also reported that the findings were independently replicated by 3 other researchers and reviewed by 2 additional cybersecurity experts. All of them reached the same conclusion. So, as we can see, privacy is not always as private as people assume. And that's when Phia's convenience story began to look more complicated. A browser extension is one of the most intimate pieces of software a consumer can install. It doesn't just sit inside one app. Depending on its permission, it can see what happens across the browser: shopping, work documents, search history, private messages, travel plans, health research, banking portals, like everything. At the time, Phia responded. Users were informed during installation that the Chrome extension could read and change all your data on all websites. The company also said that web page login was performed in an aggregated and anonymized way with the purpose of identifying retail websites and understanding when the extension should appear. It also stated that it had never stored the data and that after the issue was raised, the product was changed so that it logged only links rather than complete web page content. But several experts still told Fortune that the Phia's explanation didn't resolve the core concern, because they also noted that URLs themselves can contain sensitive details, search terms, account identifiers, customer IDs, or other personal information. All of this together are why the privacy episode matters to the affiliate link controversy. On the surface, they are different issues. One concerns personal data, the other concerns who gets paid for a sale, but both point to the same structural problem. A browser extension has enormous power, while most users have almost no visibility into what it does. The user sees a need button that says find a better price. The business sees something much more valuable, a privileged position between the user, the publisher, and the retailer. And that gap between what users think they installed and what the software can technically do is where trust currently breaks down. Phia's reported scandal is not just a story about two young famous founders, a browser extension, or affiliate commissions and trust issues. I think this is a story about the hidden economy behind convenience. The modern internet is full of tools that promise to save us time, money, and effort. But every one of those conveniences exists with a chain of incentives. The Phia episode raises a simple but uncomfortable question for everyone involved. When an AI company says a harmful outcome was a bug, how should we decide whether it was an honest technical mistake or a business model that only became unacceptable only someone noticed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever used this extension? Share your experience. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.